Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. We're here with Ray Haylock, and you have something interesting that you wanted to talk about that I don't understand because I don't know computers.
Basically, in a nutshell, it's a series of tools that we've built and put together in a box that, when used together, gives you or simulates a crowdfunding environment on your WordPress website using e-commerce. And we've tested it and it works.
Cool.
That's, in a nutshell, that's what it is, because it all started out with just like a sales tracking type thing where we would track your sales, the quantity of items sold, the dollary amounts, whatever made from those sales, and putting them into little reportable boxes. But then we started thinking about the back end, managing that, backer IDs, backer communication, what type of funding situations, so it took us a while to build the flexible and the fixed funding type situation, where we basically just capitalized on the pre-order situation and put that in there.
Okay.
And yeah, that is it in a nutshell. There's a lot in there that we could go through, but that's an hour is not enough time.
Oh.
But yeah,
I'm going to repeat this. Like when I'm at work and the foreman gives me directions, I always repeat it back to see. What so with what you have, what it's a physical box or computer?
It's a digital product that you upload to your WordPress website. So if you have WordPress,
okay,
you go here, buy it, download it, install it, turn it on. All right, then using your WordPress, you can go and build your campaign page.
Now I'm going to show you how much of a Luddite. What's WordPress? I don't even know what WordPress is.
So it's a content management system for websites, just like Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, that sort of stuff. But I specialize in WordPress.
Okay,
because I've just been building it for like 20 years. And yeah, so it's literally just like what we call an add-on or a plugin. Okay. So when you get WordPress and you install WordPress, it's just WordPress. Then you need a theme or a template.
Then if you want the link in the private chat, and I'll put it in the public chat. Yeah.
So say again.
I put the links to in the private chat because you can't put it in because you're not a moderator, and then I'll put it in the public chat.
So, well, that's just the overall websites where I've tried to capture, the primary aspects of these tools. There's no audio at the time. I just time-lapsed recordings of how to use these features and that sort of stuff. So that's where all that's on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube channel, there's detailed descriptions on what that video is all about.
Okay. Send me the YouTube channel because this is something I'm going to watch later on tonight. Okay. Again, I brought you on because people are talking about what you created this. This is yours or your company or?
Yeah, mine. I created it.
So people were talking about this, and I was like, you know what? Quite frankly, I've been doing nothing but promote my own comic for the past 2 weeks. I'm sure you can understand. So
you got to get the grift on.
Yeah. Well, it's not a grift. I'm making a real comic that
Well,
I know. It's just everybody says grift these days, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But you ever notice how like words and phrases go into fashion?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden everybody says grifter. All of a sudden, I'm trying to think of other words, but I'm like, do we know what it means? There's another word like problematic. All of a sudden everybody started saying. But anyway, that has nothing to do with it. But
no problem.
I try to not like if a word or expression gets super fashionable, I try not to use. I'm that kind of jerk. Back in the 80s when everybody was listening to U2, I was like, I'm not listening to U2. I'm not listening to U2.
Hey, each their own, bro. That's all good.
My brothers were all into classic rock. I had to get to punk. I had to have my own thing. But anyway, let's say hello to Phantasmagorgel.
Hey, Fanta.
No, you're familiar with Fanta too, right?
I love Fanta, man. She's awesome.
She is she gets now I can't think of the proper term, but she gets a shout out for she made a trailer for my comic. I didn't ask her to. She just did it, and it's really nice. And Phantasmagorgel, if you would be so kind, since I got you here, Joe Sontag is recording a couple of lines for the Patriarch, and then I have Rini recording a couple lines for a female character, and I was wondering if I could send them to you and redo it, and we'll make a proper trailer. You know,
Nice.
if you don't want to, you don't, because I have honestly no idea if this is easy to do, difficult to do. We're talking about computer stuff.
No, if you know what you're doing, it's easy.
Yeah, well, So everything is difficult because I don't know what I'm doing. And Ray, and here is your YouTube channel. So this is your YouTube channel, and it's a tutorial to explain what you were just talking about.
Yeah, so I created this particular YouTube channel just so that there's videos. Like if you've got a question about a particular feature, it'll be there. Cool. There's a hell of a lot more videos that need to be uploaded and that sort of stuff, but it's just finding the time to do it. But the primary functions of the toolkit are on there. So you can see it in action. So if you've got it open on your computer on this side, you can watch the tutorial and you can say, oh, okay, so that's how I turn on flexible funding.
Oh, cool.
Or fixed funding. That's how I, change the date. This is how I notify a backer.
Now, is this, I pay you once for this program, app, whatever word we use?
And it's yours.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no subscriptions on it. Because hey, Jeremy, a lot of the stuff that's out there is all subscription based.
Right. I was going to say, if it's subscription based, then what's the difference than using any of the other sites?
Exactly. So I'm trying to put it out there where you just buy it. It's yours. You own it. You get a lifetime license. Any and all updates that are released come through to you.
Cool.
That sort of stuff. There will be a licensing module attached to it in 10 days. So anybody that buys it now, there's no license. It's open. It's yours. The licensing is just so that people don't give it to their friends and upload it to another website.
I got you. Yeah.
And it's not recognized. So if you take it and you put it on your mate's website, all right, the plugin's not going to work unless I recognize you as a customer.
I got to ask you, where's your accent from?
My accent's broken, man. I was born in South Africa, lived in Texas, moved back, spent 10 years in China, been here for like 14 years.
Where's here?
Australia.
Oh, wow. So you're all over the place. Texas.
I've been around, man.
It's like one of these things is not like the others.
Yeah, that's why my spelling's atrocious.
China. I got to ask you about that later. So this is pretty cool. So I could buy your what's it called? We talked about it. We didn't say what it's called yet.
It's WP Funding Toolkits. So WP for WordPress.
Okay.
I initially tried to call it Woo Funding Toolkit, but the people at WooCommerce said that Woo is a trademark. You can't use it.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to rebuild the entire thing because in the code is the name of the plugin.
Oh.
So I had to rebuild it. It set me back by 3 months. But it's all done. It's all independent. It's been crossed and double checked by the Woo and WordPress and all those people. And it's all good.
Cool. So are people using it? Has there been any?
I've got 5 people in the wings. 2 people are actually on and using it right now. We're just in the design stages of their sites. Just helping them out. So
and how could a moron like myself use it?
Absolutely.
Well, you're underestimating my moronness. My moronity.
In my career with what I do, I deal with a lot of people that don't know how to answer email, let alone operate a website.
Okay, but I got that. I could do that.
They've paid me and tasked me to build them a website, and then I train them how to use it. Because my goal is, okay, you've paid me for my services. Here's your new child. This is how you look after it. I don't want you to have to call me to change a spelling mistake or to change a picture or to create a new product. You'll know how to do it. And they all get, like, the training sessions all pre-recorded, and that gets dumped into their inbox. So if they ever want to learn how to do something, they go back to the video, scrub to the timeline, and there it is. So anybody can use this. It's fairly straightforward. If you're brand new to websites and brand new to WordPress, not a problem. I'm there to hold your hand.
I got MySpace. Remember MySpace?
I remember
it took me the entire lifespan of MySpace to figure out how to use MySpace. By the time I was like, okay, this is it was gone.
Yeah. Well, with this, you've got me in your back pocket. So I've tried to attach what we call concierge hours. That's basically my time to sit with you and hold your hand. I've put in there basics of what each product has with regards to the amount of hours. Hey, Pops, how you doing, brother? But it's all open-ended. It's not written in stone. So if you buy the plugin and it comes with 2 hours concierge, but we end up spending 3 hours, who cares? You end up spending 4 hours, who cares?
Okay.
I'm not going to add on or tack on. But if you end up spending 3 weeks on it, then, well, we'll have to negotiate.
Because, my end, I have big dreams, but one step at a time. Right now, again, I have one comic on Fund My Comic right now. But if it does well, I was working on issue 2 already. If it does well, I would like to eventually have my own. You know how Shane Davis has his own site where he does his own crowdfunding. So that I think this is something that a lot of people would be interested in. I know.
Yeah, well, Shane Davis is using another because he's using WordPress, and his crowdfunding plugin is WordPress, but he's leasing it. And they're called Ignition Deck. I actually called them up and asked them before I started building any of the shit. Just trying to figure out, is it feasible for me to actually go and spend all this money building this thing where you've got these guys. And the only thing I didn't really like about Ignition Deck is that they've got their own predefined templates that you have to use when laying out your perks and your rewards and your layouts. You have to use their templates. With mine, you can build it any old willy-nilly way you want to.
Oh, cool.
That's the only thing. And you rent it. So you could launch maybe one campaign a year.
Car, I've been trying to get out of renting apartments. I like owning my things. Yeah. I wanted to get Photoshop, but what is it, like $30 a month?
Oh yeah, I've got the Adobe Suite here, and I'm spending like 80 Australian a month. Yeah. But I use the heck out of it.
Yeah, but I don't use it. You know what I mean? It was just, So I just want, if I could spend $200 for Photoshop and be done with it, I would do it. But for $30 a month, there's going to be 6 months where I don't touch it. So I like what you're talking about. You buy it because let's be realistic. How often am I going to run a campaign?
Yeah, once or twice a year.
Yeah, once or twice a year. 3 if I get really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you can just turn it on, you don't have to disable the plugin if you're not using it. You just take your actual campaign page, put that in draft mode if you want to. But we've also got a little widget that's programmed on our pages, which is a link redirect.
Okay.
So when the campaign's done, all right, and if Google still shows your link that comes up in searches, when people click on it, it goes to wherever you want it to be. So, for example, I've got a demo website built for Kill Them Dead. So if people go to killthemdead.com, it loads the site, but then takes them to Kickstarter.
Like that. Okay.
So you can do stuff like that. And that's pre-programmed into the plugin. And it's another tool that you can use either synonymously on its own or in conjunction with the campaign.
Cool.
So there's a whole box. That's why I've called it Toolkit. Because there's a lot of stuff inside there that if you're not running a campaign, let's say that you've got the website, you run your campaign, you've got your products. Campaign's finished, but you still have your products. You can still use those products and you can use them as pre-orders for something later. Hey, good stuff.
What's that? Hey, good stuff. How you doing?
So yeah, there's a hell of a lot to unpack. I've also gone and recently created a new product on the site called Custom Product, where folks are like, they're still iffy. They haven't made any decisions. They're still a bit guarded about what to do about it. You go to that product, you fill in the form, you send it to me, and then we will book a time to chat. And I don't charge for the chat. That sort of stuff.
Cool. Do you have like a dummy campaign set up that we could look at?
Yes. Let me just get this going.
Yeah, sure.
So if you go to the actual website, you'll see I've got examples. I've only just built 3 at the time being. Do you want me to share screen?
Yeah, you share. You'll be in control, so you can scroll up and scroll down.
All right. Let's go here. Copy.
While he's doing that, I will tell everybody. I got Ray was ready to start talking 15 minutes early, but my wife alerted me that the feral cat that lives in our backyard brought her kittens to the porch for the first time. So I was playing with little kittens.
Let's go. I'll share
One of
the
them has a
screen.
collar on it already, so somebody in the neighborhood already claimed one of the kittens. So little black cat. All right, so I'm gonna add this to the stage. All right, you're in control of this.
All right, so this is just the homepage. Good Stuff and Mrs. Good Stuff were very, very nice, and they made this video for me. It's just, my advertising video explaining all the perks. Here I'm talking about the top 3 key points, the top 3 takeaways. There's no platform fees, no ongoing plugin fees, and you can build your own custom campaign layouts.
Cool.
The learning curve is not steep. It's very short. Especially if you've already got a WordPress. If you're using Divi or Elementor, I use Avada. It's same or the same. Okay, and then, like I said, with the videos, custom price, campaign redirect. That's what I was telling you about. That widget that redirects that page to wherever you want it.
Okay.
And that redirect can be programmed based on the website's time or your location or the user's location. So if I set my page to redirect at midnight tonight here in Australia, y'all in the States can still see it before it redirects.
Okay.
That sort of stuff. Flexible and fixed funding options. The backer email notifications, I think, is very important. You can either, so if you've got a bunch of pre-orders sitting in your system, you can either notify per order or per person, or you can notify anybody that is per product. So if you've got 150 backers, but only 20 of them have ordered perk 2, you can select perk 2 and send a message to anybody who's ordered that perk 2.
I got you.
It'll show up in their emails. Again, when we were building this, we were only able to run one campaign at a time. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm not going to launch this yet. I want to be able to run multiple campaigns. And this is not just fixed funding for anything. You can have a series that, say, if you've got 2 campaigns running simultaneously, campaign 1 can be fixed funding. Campaign 2 can be flexible.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
All right.
So,
running
I could keep one as like an in-demand store, and then one of them as a regular typical crowdfunder.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then with the in-demand feature, again, going back to the custom redirect. Let me go here. All right. I've gone and built a specific page called in-demand. So let's say I'm running a flexible funding campaign, keep it all. I've reached my goal. I've reached my end date. My little box is then programmed on that goal and date to redirect, and I've told it to go to this page. So if after the campaign, if somebody goes to examples and clicks on the comic book, it'll automatically go to this page.
Okay.
And this is your in-demand, and you can check your. I got this idea from Bancroft, really good guy. And this is a feature that's already pre-bundled in the WordPress. You don't have to buy this as a separate plugin. It's already there. I'll just teach you how to use it. And then there you got your products. So this, and then if people order this, it'll populate those numbers. And keep going and keep going and keep going. Because it's flexible, you don't have to worry about, because you're taking the money as per charge. It's just e-commerce.
Right.
And so it's like buying a t-shirt. That's the same process. I've just hijacked it and put it into this mode. Going back to the homepage. So single, multiple campaigns, and you can run them again. I'll repeat, one campaign could be fixed. The other one could be flexible. Your backer IDs go everywhere. Okay. I've tested this and troubleshooted this all over the place. Thought I had a bit of a snafu yesterday because we got a new buyer yesterday for the plugin. And he was allocated backer ID number 1, where he should have been number 3. But me, I hit the reset button last week and I forgot I did. So it reset the counter. But the backer ID labels, I've noticed, it's like when you go and buy something and you get to your confirmation page where you've bought your product and there's a summary with your order number, the dates, how you paid for it, the delivery address, all that jazz. Big on top is your backer ID number right there immediately. So if you're running a campaign where you say, hey, the first 5 backers get a Nash can, not a trash can, an ash can, or a sticker.
Great. You're gonna get a trash can.
Yeah, get a trash can. We'll chrome plate it. as soon as they check out, they know immediately. They don't have to go back to their email. They don't have to go to their contributions to find that, but it's right there in front of them. And then, if they come back later and they go to the email and they get their order confirmation from the website, it's there as well. And then you as admin, it's inside your dashboard. It's inside the order summary page. It's inside the customer's order itself right there. And even if you reset the counter and you're starting a new campaign, all right, those backer numbers stay there. They don't disappear.
Okay.
That sort of thing. Another thing that we got from Bancroft and what he was doing, because I've just been sitting in the back end watching. What can I do? And Bancroft's enabled shipping in his totals, to bolster the numbers. Some people like it, some people don't. So I'm like, well, stuff it. It's an option. You turn it on and you hit save. So whatever your shipping charges are will be included in your totals. That sort of stuff. And that's just the monetary totals.
Yeah. I don't like the shipping totals because to me it feels like a lie. I raised $20,000. $5,000 of it's shipping. That's nothing. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't like it myself personally, but it's the options there. But the caveat is, if you are going to include your shipping in totals, it will count against your goal. So if your goal is 10 grand and you don't have shipping, you still have more time to accumulate that 10 grand. But if you have shipping turned on, you'll get closer to that goal. If you know what I'm saying, it's included in the calculations. This custom min and max order quantities, Fun Comic was having issues with that, with people ordering too many of one perk. I said, I can do that as well. So I've got that. So you can set, minimum one of this can be ordered, or 2 or 4 or 5 or 6 per checkout. So if a customer wants to come back and buy 10, they have to go back into the shop and order again. And then, yes, like I said, when it started, it's sales tracking. So I've got predefined pieces of code that you copy and paste wherever you want. All right. So that you can track the sales of what perk, the quantities. Very similar to what Eric July's done. Cover A, B, C, and D. How much money has he made from cover A? How many copies has he sold from A? That sort of thing. And that's all pre-bundled in the plugin when you buy it. So you can just copy and paste. And it's when in WordPress, when you go and create a product, when you go and create a category, all right, it gives them ID numbers. It's those ID numbers that's in the code that tracks, because it communicates to the database that stores the sales.
Okay.
And you can customize these. You can change the font. You can change the color. You can change the size. You can change its position. You can put it wherever you want, anywhere on the page. That sort of stuff. And then progress bar. Obviously, the little bar that goes across that tracks your campaign. And that's all linked to your goals that you set. So if you're creating a campaign and that campaign's got a primary category, so like fruit, and you got apples and bananas and oranges, you want to have $10,000 worth of fruit sold. That's your goal. Okay. And that's put into the category for fruit. But if you want to track and set a goal for how many apples, how much money you've made from apples, how much money you've made from bananas, it's all in there as well. And it's all linked. It's linked to the redirect. It's linked to flexible funding. So if you don't make your $10,000, nobody gets charged. If you do make it, then people get charged. And it all
so you could set it up as the Kickstarter method, or you could charge it, or you could set it up as the fund.
Well, you can do it similar. Like there is an option when you go and select all your products, and you select all, go to edit and change them to, flexible funding. Fixed funding. You have an option where you can say charge upon release or take it immediately. If you're going to take it immediately, then why bother? But the option's there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, could you set like your payment? Like, I don't want to get paid every day. You know what I mean? I would rather get paid at the end of the campaign. Like, I'd like the money to come out, because I'm of the opinion, get the money quick before people change their minds. Like Kickstarter.
Then, in your case, I wouldn't go with the all or nothing situation.
But
I
you
would
don't
go with
at
the
the
keep
end
it
of the
all.
campaign, then in one lump sum get all that money because it's easier to keep track of one payment rather than. Could you do that?
With the all or nothing, yes. Because that the customers will only get charged when you reach your goal. And when
Oh, I
they're charged, you give it 59 minutes for the little monkeys in the background to do their thing and charge everybody.
Okay.
Then that goes straight to Stripe. And then Stripe takes their 2 or 3 days to get it, and then they send that lump sum to you minus their fees.
Yeah, because I got to look at Stripe because I think I have it set wrong because I think Stripe I want like once a month or something like that. You know, because
If you want,
you got
if you
40
want to,
cents today. I'm going to lose track of that. You know what I mean? I live in fear of spending the campaign money. You know what I mean? By accident. Like I transfer it to its own account so I don't touch it.
well, then what you should do is when you set up that Stripe account that is linked to your funding, make sure it's an account that you don't have a bank card for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just have it, you link an account to it, link a bank card to it, but just don't have the card with you on your person and don't spend it.
Well, that's exactly what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in a checking account that I can only write checks for. You know, like it's not on a debit card.
That's just
PayPal.
that would just boil down to creative accounting on your end. And I'm pretty sure you could probably contact whatever payment gateway you've got saying, hey, listen, this is my situation. This is what I'm running. But
I would Phantasmagoria got so I remember a few times on Kickstarter because I'm into board games, and some of these board games like an all in with all of the bells and whistles, it could be like a $200 charge, and then you forget, and then all of a sudden you're just like, wait a minute, why is there money out of my account? So I'd rather do the Indiegogo fund my comic, but that's just me. But you give us the option to do whatever we want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then if you need help with regards to how to configure Stripe to suit your situation, pick up a damn phone. You know, that sort of thing. I've made 3. You asked for samples. Now, I've tried to use my own flair when it comes to designing the stuff, and still try and keep it a little bit synonymous to the crowdfunding layout so that people don't get too confused.
Right.
So this is actually a product, but using the power of layouts, all right, and assigning layouts to products, I can actually create my own product and put whatever crap I want on there.
Okay.
That sort of stuff. Like I've got active tracking codes for everything that we've purchased. All in demo. It's all fake. It's not real. You know, I wish I had $4,990. But it's all in here. This is just the custom contribution is very similar to like the tip feature for Indiegogo, but it's not mandatory. You can skip over this and go straight to the perks, or you can add whatever you want. You know.
Okay.
This is so, you know, people can, like the other day I backed Dean's book. So I bought like the $30 tier, but then I put $10 on top of it just to say thanks because he's a mate. You can do the same thing here. You can put $10 in there, add to cart, and then go and choose whatever you want. And this is all custom built.
Yeah, and that looks like, you know, that what a crowdfund, what I'm used to seeing. So not too confusing.
You know, built with mobile in mind. And everything built on this page is using the plugin and the WordPress theme that came with it. There are no other plugins that you need.
Okay.
You don't need, I mean, if you want contact forms, then yeah, get contact form 7. But my theme that I'm using, which is Avada, has its own form builder. So you can have a form that'll pop up when the page is loaded. That can be programmed to your MailChimp for free. And that could be your sign up page.
Okay.
Or you can have it just on the page. You know, that sort of stuff. All forms that are on here are created within the actual WordPress template theme that I'm using. I don't need an additional plugin.
Okay, cool.
That sort of stuff. And I know people are like iffy with WordPress and the security of WordPress. Again, I've got the custom product where you guys can reach out. We can discuss that. All right. Because I have my own custom built servers. not AWS, not GoDaddy, like all those guys, because they try and catch you at like, oh, give us $1 a month, we'll give you hosting for like $20 a year. Then they clock you next year, and they don't have.
I tell you, man, I'm glad you said that, because I have a forum. Remember message boards and forums? I still have an active one, and it's on GoDaddy. And it seems like every time I turn around, they're charging me, and every time they charge me, it just seems like it goes up to the point where I think it's time to shut it down and open it someplace else. But that's neither here nor there. But when you said GoDaddy, the anger alarms went off in my brain.
Yeah, I've had major arguments with GoDaddies on behalf of my clients that I host. You know, that sort of stuff. And I've taken at least 100 people away from GoDaddy.
Yeah.
You know, just because
GoDaddy taking me away from GoDaddy.
Yeah, no.
It's slow. It crashes all the time. It's unavailable for 3 days at a time, and then they want $400.
Yeah,
and I'm like, didn't I just pay $400? You know.
Yeah. And the cool thing about my servers as well is because I've got God mode on my servers. Let's say we've put you on the baby package and like $15 a month.
You could smite my enemies.
I can definitely smite your enemies or smite their IP addresses. Trust me, since I launched this guy, I've had a lot of haters come out of the woodwork. I've had people come down and temporarily shut down my Twitter, my Facebook, my Google, and my Instagram. All right, bots.
Since you started this program? Wow.
They come after me. They
I guess I'm still small fry. You know, no, everybody's been pleasant. The only bad interactions I've had with people, I probably started. I probably deserved it, but
I tracked them all down and contacted Meta. I said, right, listen, this is all bullshit. Here it is. Here's the data. Here's the metadata. Give me my shit back. And within 10 hours, I had my shit back.
I had one of my family members back my comic on Fund My Comic, Hero Tales #1. It might as well be a commercial for myself.
Yeah,
and this is a person who is not interested in comics, doesn't do any Kickstarter, and backed my comic, accidentally hit the button 6 times, backed my comic 6 times, and then got the bill, didn't recognize the bill, and told the credit card company it was a fraud. And then Stripe contacted me. I had to explain. I had to call. You know, it was
the checkout process on this is fairly simple.
It doesn't matter what you do. My cousin was gonna mess up anyway. He's one of those people. Thank you for your help, buddy. You caused me a weekend of horror, but
oh bless. But the checkout process here, we tried to keep it as simple as possible.
Yes,
we've got this thing called the KISS principle.
Keep it simple. We say that at work all the time. Yeah, I'm a construction process, design and stuff. The simplest way is the best.
Yeah. What I like about our system here as well is with WordPress and most websites that are out there is when you get to like the checkout, you get billing details and you get address details, because sometimes people's banking and billing belongs to a different address than what their physical address is, like mine. You can use that feature to send somebody a gift. So if you're backing on behalf of someone.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Say, okay, well, listen, and you can put a note and say, okay, this is for John. You know, I'm paying for it, but please deliver it to John. That shows up. It's in your order. It's in the admin's order, that sort of stuff. It's all there. Or if somebody calls you and say, hey, listen, I'm on the road. I'll Venmo you $100. Can you just go and back this book for me? You can do the same thing there. Yeah. I don't know. Does the chat got any questions?
There's a lot of questions. I see you got a cheerleading squad over here, which is always nice.
Yeah, my guys are in the house. What's up? Yeah. Love
so
you guys.
Let me ask, I see good stuff at Phantasmagoria Girl are very active. Have you guys used this? I know Good Stuff said he's planning on using this. So it would be kind of interesting if you guys want to say something in the chat, because I'm very interested in this, but I'm not tech savvy enough to come up with any question and you know any other thing. Like, you basically answered all my questions before I could even think of them. Like I like.
Well, we are doing a giveaway. And
there you go.
9 days left now. So basically, whoever buys in, all right, 10% of whatever that is. So right there, you've got 1,248. So in 9 days, 23 hours, 24 minutes, $124.80 will be given to one of 2 people that have bought in. towards their campaign or towards their project. It's hoping to get a bit more traction, but I think because it's WordPress, people are afraid of it.
Well, it's new.
That's it.
And I'm in that category. New things are scary. You know what I mean? Like I remember the first time I heard a Kickstarter, and I was like, this is insane. Who would ever do this?
Yeah.
And it took me a while to trust it well enough to back. And then Indiegogo, I was like, what? And then of course from my comic, it was a little different. I was interested in that at the beginning because I trusted Luke, and I knew I knew him because of that, but
yeah.
We just started talking.
If you're not the type of person that really wants to get your hands dirty and get in there and whatever, then by all means, do not go to Indiegogo. Do not go to Kickstarter. Go to Fund My Comic. Like, seriously. Luke has done a fucking bang-up job.
And his customer service is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Like I said, when my cousin messed me up, me and Luke fixed it. Yeah. I had the guy on the phone calming me down because my dumb cousin. What about your feet videos? Oh, there you go. Let me ask you this, Ray. Could Fanta monetize her feet videos on
Absolutely.
There you go.
I was trying to find something.
I don't kink shame, but foot fetish people are gross.
I was trying to see who's here. All right, that'll be good stuff.
Oh, there you go. Only Fanta. She's got her own website. Only Fanta. There you go.
So yeah, with like the products that I'm offering, we've got different tiers. Like custom plugins, bronze, silver, gold. It's all open-ended. It just depends on what you guys want to do. If you can't necessarily afford any of this, it doesn't cost you a cent to StreamYard me or Zoom or give me a call. And we can chat and we can put a plan together for you. That sort of stuff.
So I got to ask then, how much is it to buy the basic? Again, I don't know. Do you say program? Do you say app? What's the cool word?
Here we go. Just load the shop. So this is in USD. Okay, so the plugin on its own. All right, it's 2 hours of my time to help you get it going.
Okay.
Get it set in, teach you how to use it. All right, show you where all the files are, how to use the shortcodes, that sort of stuff, and get you going. If you're happy if you've got your own WordPress, you've built it all your own, that sort of stuff, but you don't know quite how to set up the campaign or set up the plugin, this is the one for you.
Okay.
When I launched, I didn't have the 2 hours on there. I called it the cowboy package. So if you just want the plugin, then take it and have fun with it. If you get stuck, then call me. But now I'm like, you know what? Let me just chuck in a couple hours. You can get a lot done in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. And yeah. Then the rest of the products I think are fairly self-explanatory. The bronze, you get the 2 hours, but you get an additional 2 hours training. So you get 4 hours of my time to do what the fuck you want with. If you only need 1 hour of training, then you've got 3 hours to do something else. What do you want me for? I don't know how to set up my products. All right. That's how you do it. Okay. And it'll be recorded and you can take that home with you. It's not just on the fly and then I bugger off. It'll be recorded and you can download it and you can take that home with you so that if you come back 2 weeks later and you've forgotten, you don't have to go, oh shit, I've got to pay Ray for another 2 hours. Wait, I can go to the fucking video.
Okay, cool.
That sort of stuff.
That's a really good idea.
Let's go back. What I should do is just do this. Bronze, silver, gold, titanium, palladium. And it just goes up by a bit more and more as we go. With regards to what you're getting out of the box. We've just talked about that one. Silver is 6 hours.
Okay.
But then I also help you build out the campaign page. I help you set up your WooCommerce products and their categories, get them linking, show you how to use it, put it together. Then the gold is 8 hours and you get a website. So I'll give you a fully fledged website, homepage, about us page, contact us page, blog, whatever. And that's That 8 hours doesn't include what I'm building. So I'm going to take the next 26 hours of my life to build that thing for you according to your preferences. All right, and we build it together.
Cool.
After the site's done, then your 8 hours kick in when we turn on the plugin, start building your products, start building your campaign page. What do you want to do with it? How do you want it to work? Test it, set up Stripe, get that going.
Oh, cool. That's great.
And that's $2,000. Well,
Yeah.
3. Sorry, $3,000. Then you've got the titanium, which is just more hours thrown into it. But I'll help you set up your own merch. So if you're selling like t-shirts, mugs, stickers, whatever, or if you've got other comic books that are sitting in your garage that you need to sell, I'll help you set those up as products.
Okay, cool.
And then if you're shipping and handling them yourselves, all right, that's what this is for you. And the palladium is I will set you up with print on demand with your merch.
Oh, wow.
All right. I've already got connections at Printify. All right. So that when I do set you up with Printify, you'll have your own dedicated account strategist at Printify to deal with if I'm not around.
Oh, cool.
So how to select your printers, how to select your distributors, how to select the quality and the style of your products. Which printer to use, because print on demand uses a plethora of printers that are available when the order goes through, but you can specify which one you want to use. Like Demona T is one of my favorites. They printed this jersey, that sort of stuff. So I help you set all of that up as well.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all the stuff I'd like to eventually do, depending upon, success. If customers want it, So this is all good stuff to think about. No, as I'm looking at the name Good Stuff, I wonder why that name popped into my head. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
So
it does everything but write and draw the comic.
Yeah. And then if you're worried about fulfillment and stuff like that for your comic book, you've got Critical Blast out there. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. Why worry?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of just getting the word out there. And again, like I said, if you guys are not happy with the prices, listen, it's a little bit out of my bracket. Go to the custom package page. Put your details in there. What's the package that you're interested in? What options do you want?
Oh, so you got like an a la carte service also?
Yeah, and then throw in what you think the budget is. And send that to me, and that comes to me as an email. You get a confirmation email. Then we get the communication wheel moving, and we can start setting up a date that we can sit down via StreamYard or Zoom or whatever.
Good Stuff is manipulating my mind over here. Okay.
He's good at that.
Yeah.
But that's what this is all about. So that, hey, Ray, listen, I can't quite afford $3.99. All right. But I still need the 2 hours. What can we do?
I gotcha.
Then I'll go and create a specific product.
So I take it you're a computer programmer by day. That's your day job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, programmer, digital marketer, poster, app builder. I'm a tramp. Jack of all trades.
Well, that's all good. I mean,
because I see all these guys out there doing their own thing, and they're all sharing it within their network of friends, but they're not putting it out there publicly. It's like, hey, if you want to do this, go here, do that. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, well, stuff it. I'm going to do that. Here, this is how you do it. This is what it is. Yes, I'm going to get a bit of kickback and money for it because I've got to get my money back for what I spent on this thing. But I still think the prices are fair, considering what's out there. Because I've worked for the big boys, and to have a website like this, it's worth 120,000 Australian. That's what I've been told by the big boys. And I'm like, nah, I can't sleep at night charging that for this.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have competitive rates, fair competitive rates. Yeah. I'm looking at your prices. I don't think you're gouging anybody. I think what you get makes sense, and you explained it to me, so I know what I'm in for. And like I said at the beginning of our talk, I'm not a computer guy, but this all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even with and the cool thing about the way that I've set up WP Funding website right now is because I've got my own plugin programmed on this. That's how I'm running the giveaway. The giveaway is using my plugin to populate those numbers. So let's say somebody calls me up tomorrow and says, listen, I don't really have the cash right now, but I'll have it at the end of the month. I'll go in, build you a specific product with the price that we've negotiated, set it up, send you the link, you fill it in, and I'll make that pre-order. And you'll be charged at the end of the month when you set.
Okay.
And we can get the wheel going. And then I'll still put you in the competition. You've got 10 days.
Yeah.
You know, based on, if I get enough feedback, I might extend the competition because, to be honest, 2 entries is a little embarrassing. It's been 20 days. I do have, like I said previously, I've got 5 other people that are in the wings. I'm just waiting for the ink to dry.
Well, I think, like me, people are like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I want to see if other people do it first. Like I think you're gonna get a drip here, you're gonna get a drip here, and then all of a sudden, once people, all of a sudden, the barn doors will burst open and all the animals will come running. Yeah. I'm just thinking the way I do.
Oh yeah, no, I know a lot of people are waiting to see it in action.
Yeah.
A lot of people are waiting to see what it is in action. So,
especially with tech, because I don't think I'm telling tales out of school. A couple of people said to me, Fund My Comic is still new to me. They would rather I'm on another site or what, you know what I mean? But it's like, dude, it's been fine. It's been fine. But now we're getting some big names on Fund My Comic. It's picking up steam. So I think the same thing's going to happen with this. People are, watching other people. It's just human nature. But
Yeah, well, I've got a big name in one of the 5 is a big name. I'm just waiting on
good
flag fall.
There you go.
And when that happens, I think it's going to be a nice little piece of juicy asset to have in there. But I'm still waiting. I do have another one where it's currently being used, but not in the form of a comic book.
Okay.
So it's on that Umbrella Guy site as we speak, and we're using it, but it's not used in the crowdfunding capacity. I'm using the tools of it for what he wants right now. So right now he's making videos and MP3s that he wants to release out to his fan base.
Okay.
So we've got, and all I'm doing at this point in time is I'm using the custom tip feature, saying, hey, if you want this MP3, download it for free, or give him $1 or give him $5. But if you want the video, well, then give us $5. You can have it, because the video, it's going to count against his bandwidth. That sort of stuff. We're currently using the redirect feature because we do have a campaign built for Tug, but NDA. But the redirect is in action. So if anybody tries to click on it, if Google tries to index it, nobody can see it. That sort of stuff.
I just got to ask good stuff. I thought you were kidding when you said you had a cookbook, but you really have
a cookbook. Yeah, cool. It's no longer a secret.
Yeah, good stuff. Come on my channel when you're ready, and we'll talk about it. I like to cook, and I definitely like to eat. Somebody. Oh
man,
I put a picture of me reading Inglorious Rex, and I put a tub of ice cream there to be funny. And then somebody goes, "You must be fat to eat all that ice cream." I was like, "I'm you." I'm not going to lower myself. You want to bust my chops? Go ahead, bust my chops.
Man, the shit that I've got in my inbox is ridiculous.
Now you got me curious. So because you launched this, which I think is an interesting product that people could actually use, and I think a lot of people will buy this. Once they get over that initial hesitancy, but I think this is something cool. So people are busting your chops. People are giving you hate.
Yeah, I've picked up a lot of heat. Last week was a bloody nightmare. I think it was a bunch of bots. All right, there's 2 or 3 valid IPs that I have found.
Okay.
Because I have guard control on the server, I know where you're coming from. I can see you. That sort of stuff, and it's part of the whole security package. But my entire Facebook. I had to go and do verification and stuff like that again, because people were claiming copyright. I'm like, how? This is custom. It's a custom build. It's my own freaking code.
Oh wow.
that sort of stuff. I've got a couple of Twitter inboxes calling me a hack and that sort of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I just look at my baby boy's face and I'm like, fuck you. I'm okay. You know, I got him laughing.
I don't know. I guess I am naive. Like I was just saying yesterday that I put up a force field around myself, and my force field is semi-permeable. Like I have to pull you in. So like things like Star Wars hasn't penetrated my force field. So there's only 3 Star Wars movies. Nothing else exists. Star Trek is being pushed out of my force field. Like we were just saying before we went live, I don't even watch TV anymore. So a lot of this, like fighting on the internet and people just being nasty, it's easy to keep it outside my force field. So when I hear stuff like this, I don't know. It's a surprise to me. Again, I guess I'm naive. I see.
No matter what, because I deal with it. I've been in the digital world, especially with the marketing and the feedback side of it. With other clients and their products and reviews and that sort of stuff. You've got to take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah,
you've got to have a thick skin. That sort of stuff. And a lot of it is just a bunch of little AI bots trying to get you to click on something stupid.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. But you won't really have to worry about that sort of stuff. Because like with the 2 guys that we've got here, the 2 giveaway entries, we've got them on the server already and we're in the build phase. But before we touch anything, all the firewalls, all the anti-bots are there straight out of the gate. So that we can sit there and comfortably build what we need to do and not worry about anybody getting into our shit before we launch.
Okay.
It's all mitigated and it's done. And it's not rocket science. I'll show you exactly what software I'm using, how it works. All right. So that you know what it is. So that when I hand this over to you and you go off into the sunset and run your campaign, okay, you're dancing.
Cool.
Okay? Don't need to worry about that shit. Even if you're not on my server, you still get those tools and toys to take with you. It's just a matter of hey, Courtney.
How you doing, Courtney?
So if let's say you are on GoDaddy, all right, and you have your package with GoDaddy, all right, I can sit down with you and we can pinpoint what's wrong with it and what you need to do to upgrade if you want to stay with GoDaddy. All right, you're going to need this. You're going to need this. You're going to need this. Oh, you don't have this. Where's this? And then you take that back to GoDaddy and say, hey, this is what I want. All right. And then 9 times out of 10, you're going to say, fuck GoDaddy. Ray, you got space?
Yeah. Well, just the rising prices for GoDaddy and the diminishing service is killing it for me. So, yeah.
Someone asked about the support for this as well. And I think we're on Dark Gifts channel. And I said, well, I'm the support guy. And then Matt Barr says, yeah, for as long as you live. And I'm like, thanks, Matt Barr. But it's true.
Matt Barr is the Rorschach of Comicsgate.
Man, I love Matt
uncompromising and the truth, whether you want to hear it or not.
No, I've got no qualms with Matt Barr.
I love Matt. Yeah. Matter of fact, again, commercial time. He's doing a page in my comic.
Nice.
Yeah, we have showed it on the Freaking Awesome show on a Monday night. Positive reactions.
But it's a valid point. So I'm actually in negotiations with a tech company right now that will be taking over.
We have somebody backing you up. GoDaddy has some racket going on for sure. It's got ridiculous. But this is my buddy Paul. He was my friend since college, and he's the co-administrator and the tech guy for my forum. And
okay.
I don't even understand stuff that he explains to me that problems with GoDaddy. So yeah, they got some problems.
With our servers, I've got like 7 packages on there based on what we think you need to start you out with. But I also have the ability to go and create a custom package for you.
Cool.
And it's not set in stone. And then, for example, let's say you're on the Pee-wee package, okay, which is like, 20 gig traffic, 2 gig space, all the RAM, all the bells and whistles, blah, 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 blah. When they come to launch day and you're anticipating a bucket load of traffic, just go in, select your account, put you onto the booster like that. And then you're on. You don't have to worry about the site going down. Because then you get unlimited. And there's no such thing as unlimited if you really think about it. but
Right.
looking at like 2 or 3 terabytes of traffic that's allocated to you.
I'm such a Luddite. When somebody says terabytes, I can't help but think of a monster. But I assume that's a lot of information.
1,000 gigabytes. I think.
My wife's laughing at me because she knows more about computers than I do.
But we have the ability to, and it doesn't cost you anything. Like if you wanted to do something like that with GoDaddy, you'd have to pay them, and they'd upgrade you, and then that would last 30 days.
Oh, here we go. We got some questions here from somebody who actually knows computers. Sounds like scalable cloud hosting. That's the way to go.
Pretty much. Yeah. And like our servers, we've got data centers internationally, but we're hosted in Sydney and Brisbane.
My wife just held up a sign on the other side. Said, "Is this guy Australian?"
Yeah, I'm Aussie, mate. Well, I'm an import. I'm a fake Aussie.
Oh, right. He's Australian by way of Texas and China and South Africa. Right.
Yes.
Did I get that right? Yeah.
Yeah, his accent's very strong.
Yeah.
That's very strange. My poor child is going to be so confused.
We're in Australia, right? There's
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Is
Oh,
that
it's beautiful there.
my wife has been to Melbourne. She says it's beautiful there.
Is
Is that where Michael Bancroft is from?
Yes.
Okay.
I still owe him a beer.
I know Australia is a country and a continent, and it's actually pretty big, but I just can't help it, like you and Michael Bancroft like bumping into each other in the supermarket.
I don't think we're that close in proximity, but that would be freaking awesome if I did bump to him at
he's a great
checkout.
I enjoy talking with Michael. For those of you who don't know, we're in the chat. Michael Bancroft is one of the most positive people in the comic book YouTube's independent Comicsgate, Iron Age, whatever word you want to use. Great friend to comic books. Well then, good day, mate. Let's throw it. Somebody. I wouldn't have read it if I knew that. My stuff is from the Gong. Okay, I don't know what that means, but
is that Geelong? Oh, Wollongong. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Oh, Paul's more interested in hockey.
All right, well, good luck.
Wollongong is this the city? Wollongong?
Yeah, I've been there. It's not bad.
Yeah, everybody loves Bancroft.
Bancroft is awesome.
He's a good. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, man. It's not rocket science. I'm there to hold your hand.
It might as well be to me, but you made it. You know, kudos to you because you explained this to a person who doesn't really know computers. You know, I could turn on a video game. I could do YouTube, and believe it took me 3 years to get to this ghetto level of YouTube that I'm at right now. So you should have seen it at the beginning. So you did a good job. First off, I do think there's a market for this. I think it's something that people will want, especially after a campaign or two on other sites. You know, have something that they can control and it's theirs. I don't know. I think this is a great idea, and I'm kind of there we go. I'm kind of amazed that other people didn't do it first. You know, so there you go. Did we lose you? Oh, we lost you. I think he got eaten by all of those horrible, monstrous animals that only live in Australia. Like mammals with duckbills and lay eggs, abominations. Yeah.
What, did you lose me? I can still see
for a second, you froze up for a second.
Okay.
So I was just saying, I think did you lose me? Were you able to hear what I was saying? Okay, yeah. So I don't know. It looks like something even a person like me could use. Even a caveman could use it.
I've tried to keep it as simple as possible. Yes, there is a little bit of finesse and that sort of stuff, especially when it comes to building your own campaign layout. All right. But again, you don't need another plugin. It's just me educating you on what options you actually have with the theme that you're using for WordPress. Because each theme has their own options. If you're using Divi, if you're using Elementor, they have all their crap inside there that you can use. All right. Again, it's nothing crazy. It's tracking codes.
Okay.
That allows you to style them. Because like the font that's on my site is my own font. And I've told my website that I want to use this font for this tracking code, blah, 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 instead of Times New Roman. You know, that sort of stuff. And I've just used my theme to have my layout, my design, my options, and my toys that comes with the theme to use it.
Good stuff for saying. Speaking of Caveman, the Man Cave tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Special guest Joe.
Yes.
Joe is running the circuit right now. I just had Joe on yesterday, and I will have Joe over at RJ's, the Fourth Age. RJ and I go back and forth with a comic book team up. So I'll be talking to Joe again as soon as we log out. So, and speaking of which, this is an hour, so I'm gonna have my dinner because now I got a 20-minute window to eat dinner. Yeah. So rather than me babble all the time, so I can't even speak anymore. I've been talking.
You're hungry, bro.
Well, not that. I have a campaign going, so I've just been doing 3 or 4 hours a night talking about my cop. So here we got your toolkit YouTube channel. So if you click on this is a video tutorial of everything you were just talking about, right?
Pretty much. I've tried to capture everything that's basically there out of the box. There's no audio. It's just video. Just watch where the mouse goes and watch what happens on the screen. You can see what it's all about. I've done it again and again and again.
And then this is,
and it's in 4K.
And then this is directly to you to purchase your product. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure we say, and this is your Twitter X. Why are they changing the name? Don't change the name. It's like Burger King all of a sudden turning into Happy Jack or something like that.
I do have a Twitter for the plugin, but I'm still trying to put the stuff together.
Okay. And I'm trying to look. Okay, this is the same. So I showed all your links. So sub to Good Stuff's YouTube channel so you don't miss this. Oh yeah. And everybody put your links in here. I put all your links in the description for anybody watching this later.
Thank you, my man.
Anything
and thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. I again, this is something I'm really interested in. And
don't be my key takeaway from all of these streams that I'm going on to is don't be afraid of WordPress. All right, and not to do a shameless name drop, but Eric July made fucking 5 million almost on WordPress.
Okay.
His is WordPress. Shane Davis is WordPress. So if your argument is WordPress, well then everybody else is using it. Why can't you?
Yeah. If they could process $1 million campaigns, they can handle my campaign.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of, if you've got a question, ask. I don't charge for you to pick my damn brain. I can explain it to you and show you what the protocols are. What's the deal?
Okay. All right.
And then with regards to releases, and right now this is version 1.0, which like one website owner and multiple campaigns. Version 2.0 is we're going to start going after the WP, like funding, not crowdfunding. What is it? Like charities and causes and that sort of stuff. GoFundMe.
Okay.
We're going to have a GoFundMe type side of it where people can donate anonymously or with their name and that sort of stuff. Version 3 is going to be called Host a Buddy. So if you've got your website with the plugin on there, you can host somebody else's campaign and then you become the platform for your friend.
Oh, cool. That'll be good because you know how GoFundMe's shutting down people's campaigns based on politics.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
So Host a Buddy will probably be this time next year. Probably this time next year.
That's probably, I think that's one of your biggest selling points. You can set up charity and GoFundMe's, and regardless of your politics, you control it. That is awesome. That is something that I think is a really good idea.
It all depends on how the next 2 to 3 months worth of sales go, because then I've got the capital that I can reinvest on building this upgrade, that sort of stuff. Because now I've got to take time away from paid clients so that I can build this. So I need to pay myself, so I can take the time to build it. And then once that's built, and then whoever buys it now, when you update your plugin next time, that option will be in there, gratis. Anybody else that is outside of the special window, fine, pay for the upgrade.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still debating that.
Okay. Well.
But yeah, you got to go. Thank you.
Yeah, I got to go. I got a short window before my next live. But thanks a lot. That was really interesting. I think this is a good idea. Good luck, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks, chat.
Bye-bye, everybody. See you
tomorrow.
And 25 minutes, go to the Fourth Age. RJ, I, and Joe Capitano will be talking. And then at 9:30, I'll be on Rini Draws.
Excellent.
Bye-bye, everybody.